Hey shooters, welcome back to the Shooters Resource Channel. Today we're going to be looking at the Sauer Macaroni, or Sig Sauer Macro P365. There's a lot of mixed reviews on this gun. Some of them good in terms of performance. Others are complaining about the finish of the firearm rusting. We're going to give this a test drive on the range. I've been wanting to get my hands on one of these, so I apologize for the late review, but I had a nice buddy that was willing to lend me this today so we can give it a little test drive. The Sig Sauer P365 X Macro Comp, short for compensated. This gun was introduced in August of 2022. It's a 9mm, packing an impressive 17 round capacity. It's kind of in the micro compact. I guess it's called macro, so maybe macro compact. But it's a very thin gun and a very small profile, coming in at only 6.6 inches long, 5.2 inches high, and 1.1 inches wide, weighing in at 21.5 ounces. Because it is compensated, the sight radius on this gun is only 5.1 inches, and the barrel is 3.1 inches. But I didn't find any detriment to accuracy with that shorter sight radius. All right, shooters, that was my very first shots through the Sig Macro. I did a draw and fire 5 in 2.26 seconds. So, looking at the target, the very first shot I dropped a little bit down here, but the rest of them were pretty tight right there in the center. I will say it was easy to shoot, so let's run a few more rounds through it. I'll try that again. That was in 221. Looks like everything stayed in there. Just had one that I dropped a little high. Again, a really easy gun to run fast. The trigger feels great on it. So let's keep running a few rounds through it. We'll try these 3 targets, 2, 2, and 2. That was 2.74 seconds. See how we did. First 2 in the 0 zone. Second 2 stayed in the 0 zone. And the last 2, I was just outside. I kind of overswung a little bit on that. All right, shooters, next up, let's try some reload drills. The controls are very easy to get to. It's got a great, easy, large mag release. You don't have to shift your hand at all to hit that mag release. It doesn't protrude too far where it might accidentally get bumped and drop the mag. I had none of that. So I would say the magazine is a A+, or the magazine release is an A+. The slide lock was very easy to engage. Had no problem doing mag changes with this gun. The gun always went into slide lock when I was out of ammo, so you know, the gun overall performed very well. The controls were very good. The gun comes with only 2 magazines. It would be great to see Sig include a 3rd magazine, as they have with other P365 options. But if you want to get a replacement magazine, they can be easily found. However, they are fairly expensive. Looking at the features of the gun, it has a very compact grip, and it comes with small, medium, and large back straps to customize the grip to your hand. Now, the grip length is perfect for most medium to large size hands. It feels really good in the hand. It's very ergonomic. It has a great sandpaper style texturing that's seen on a lot of the P365s. I found that lended to fast follow-up shots and easy rapid fire. All right, next up, shooters, we've got a little bit of a dynamic drill. So we've got this cool little saloon set up for cowboy action shooting. We're gonna bust through these doors, address this first target, second target, third target, and finally the fourth target. Let's move it over. There's a little bit in the way. So that is going to be our dynamic drill for the day. Now, the big thing with this gun, the big feature that a lot of people appreciate, is it has the integrally compensated optics ready slide plate. So what does that mean? Well, the slide itself is ported on top, the barrel is shorter and stops right before the porting, and that allows gases to exit out the top of the slide, which should counteract muzzle rise. For me, I honestly didn't feel a huge difference in terms of flatness, or I didn't see my splits really greatly improve. However, there are several videos out there that show how these compensated ports on top of the slide help aid in muzzle flip. I believe that this will drastically help newer shooters, whereas with more seasoned shooters, I think that you're going to see less of a benefit. However, I'm not going to argue whether or not there's a benefit. I had a great time shooting this gun, and it shot very flat. Now, another feature or benefit is the Macro is part of the P365 platform, which means it's got interchangeability when it comes to grip modules that you can purchase both aftermarket and from Sig. It's got, you can replace the trigger modules, or you can swap the slides out. There's a lot of interchangeability. You also get compatibility with your holsters, which is really nice if you're already into that Sig P365 platform. You also can use these 17-round magazines on some of your smaller P365s, but obviously because of the grip length, you can't go vice versa. Another cool feature on this gun is it comes with a standard 1913 rail. That allows you to mount all your favorite flashlights that are for full-size guns. Pretty much any of your standard Surefire or Streamlight or other brand flashlights come with a 1913 option. It's by far the most popular. The slide is cut for the Romeo 0, so if you are looking to put a red dot on here, you are already pre-cut and you can do a slide flush mount with no needed intermediate plates. And the gun is sporting a nitron finish. Now, as we get into the performance of the firearm, that would actually be one of the cons. There's a lot of complaints about the finish of the firearm wearing prematurely, as well as rusting. And that also includes the magazines themselves. These are very expensive mags, but people have complained about the paint chipping and also rust showing up on the magazines very early when they first start carrying this gun. On the gun that was loaned to me, I did not see any type of finish problems. However, this was loaned to me by a friend, and the gun was fairly new when I received it. So on my sample size of 1, I didn't see any of these problems, but there's several videos out there complaining of the finish of the gun and the magazine. All right, this next time I'm going to do a retreating drill. So I'm going to start standing right here on the porch, facing these 3 targets. I'm going to have to dress them in order of closeness, so I'm going to hit this guy, this close one, and the further one as I'm retreating. I'm going to hit this guy as I'm going through the door. And run around here, and I'm going to slice the pie. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, let's see how the Sig Macro holds up. All right, let's get to the pros of the firearm. This gun shoots really fast. And why does it shoot fast? Well, first of all, it's got great ergonomics. The grip feels great. It's got a really large beaver tail. It's very ergonomic. The grip texture is sandpaper. It's the right amount of aggressiveness. You get the back straps for customizing it to fit your hand. So everything about this gun, it just really is ergonomic. The bore axis is very low. So it just allows you to get a very good grip and hold and purchase on that firearm and shoot it very fast. Now, it also has the compensation, right? So compensated slide that again allows gases to go up counteracting muzzle flip. So, you know, just physics tells you that this is going to help. And again, there are several videos out there with slow-mo footage just showing that, hey, this doesn't recoil as much. For me, I've got a very strong grip, so it was hard for me to tell when I shot this gun side by side with my Glock 48. My splits were very consistent between the two, but I can just say that this gun shot very flat and very fast. All right, it's very accurate as well. First of all, it's got great sights. That allows you to shoot fast. It's got a high vis front sight that is great for daytime shooting. It's got the tritium for night. And then it also has an excellent trigger. I love these flat face style triggers. I do wish that there was a trigger safety on here. Some people don't like them. I prefer them, especially for concealed carry. But the trigger itself is very light. It's got a good reset, a very crisp reset. And just all around great trigger from Sig. Phenomenal group by the Macro. That's 10 yards offhand, 10 shots. And that's smaller than 2 inches. So that's a 2-inch circle right there. So you're just under 2 inches. And you know, obviously a lot of that is me, but we really had some really tight grouping that was starting to occur kind of right there, just over an inch. So for a micro compact, kind of full size, whatever it is, slim full size gun, I mean, it really shoots very accurately. The trigger helps out quite a bit. I just wanted to give you guys an example of the type of accuracy. I really believe that a lot of the misses here were me. And so with a little more practice, or if you're a better shooter than I am, then you can expect better accuracy. I think the biggest pro to this gun is the value. The cost to performance ratio, all of the features is just right where it should be. And I'll be honest with you, after shooting this gun, I wouldn't be scared to go out and get one. I am watching the finish things. Sig is very well known for having early quality problems in their guns. Most of the videos and feedback that I've seen around the finish of the firearm, having early failures like rust or just wearing prematurely, were on newer release guns. So I'm not sure if that problem was corrected or not. If I were to buy this firearm myself, I'd probably go for the TAC Ops version versus the compensated version. I feel like I'm going to be able to shoot that gun pretty much just as fast and as flat, in my opinion, you know. And so, but I'd also get the faster velocity of the longer barrel. I'd also get the longer sight radius. However, as I mentioned before, when it came to accuracy or shooting fast, even at distance, I didn't find that the shorter sight radius of the X Macro comp put me at a disadvantage. Shooters, I hope you found value in the content today. I hope if you were on the edge of buying the Sig Macro, you found some information here that helped you make your decision. Is the Sig Macro the GOAT? That's a great question. I wouldn't say that this is the greatest pistol I've ever fired. I would say that it is a very interesting pistol. It's got a great high capacity and a micro profile that makes it very conducive to carrying. If you are in the market for a small, high capacity gun, I highly recommend checking out the X Macro. You might want to look into the finish issues, but other than that, I would say that this is a real great buy. Is it the GOAT? That's a great question. That's also something that's somewhat subjective, so some of you might say yes, while others might say no. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please take a second, hit that like and subscribe button, support the channel. And as always, thank you all, and God bless.